Okay, so we got the Cyclops here. Cycloptic Tim. See? No. I am Cyclops. Those things work really well, don't they?
Yep.
Especially when you're working. I need one of those. I actually had a really good one, but they were never as nice as that one is. They always had the great big C-cell batteries.
Yeah, these are 3 AA's.
3 AA's, those are okay. They're never heavy and awkward. But anyways, here we go. I guess we could talk about the 8530 before we do anything. 8530, we ran it today. We haven't baled any hay with it yet, but there hasn't been any issues. You're doing a job, right?
I know that, but I was going to back this out over there.
We'll put the twine in first. Anyway, the 8530, the crap that we took out of the transmission screen, I have a feeling was from an old repair. As weird as this may sound, if you look at this tractor, and I know I have looked at it since, well, when I bought it, I kind of knew it. I knew when I bought it, and I asked them, and they confirmed that this had been apart and had upgrades done to the transmission. This piece right here. I believe it's this piece right here. It might be the second one back. No, I think it is, but it's this, in this area, from here to here, this part here. You can see that they've had tools on it, they've wrenched on it, they've taken it apart, they put it back together again. They even sprayed it with paint. You can see the overspray, the spray dust there. So they covered their tracks, you know, they covered up the heads of the bolts to fix it, to hide the fact that they had this transmission part. Well, apparently it's kind of common that there were upgrades to these transmissions that were done, and whether it was something that was done after a failure or whether it was done whatever. There's no shifting issues. It is not throwing any codes whatsoever. It was just that filter it was about halfway plugged with silicone or anabolic sealer and those metal chunks, which I'm confused about because, you know, I don't know, that screen obviously wasn't cleaned out at some point. I've never cleaned it out. But anyways, clean the screen out. It's quieter. This thing always had this incredible whining sound to it, so it whined, which is kind of normal, but I thought it was excessive. Changed the filters, changed the oil, cleaned that screen, and now it is like 99% quieter. It's a lot quieter. So I'm pretty happy with that fact, and it doesn't have that shifting lag. It is only in the first range, like you have F1 and F2. So in the first range, if I would slow the engine down, not the transmission speed, but if I slow the engine down, pick up the disc and drop the disc, then it would do that shifting thing. It would just like lag and then slam like that. I don't think I had it do it with a wagon load of hay. I don't remember. Do you remember if it did it with a wagon load of hay or not?
Yeah, twice on me.
It did do that weird shifting slam thing?
Yeah.
All right, well, so it did it when he was running hay too, so there's that issue, but it hasn't done it since. So I'm crossing my fingers. I mean, tractors don't heal themselves, but I'm really just crossing my... Hey, you know what? Just leave that right where it's at. Don't worry about it. We'll deal with it tomorrow. Because, you know, we got some other things that need to be done. It needs a bath, obviously, but we're getting ready to bale hay is what we're up to, and that's going to be the real test if it continues to do that really weird shifting thing, and I'm going to check the codes if it throws a code. There are no codes on it. There was an ECU code, but that is thrown because of the security system. It has this, what the hell is the name of that thing? It's got this, what do they call it? Data tag. Well, data tag, and the other one is a Vapormatic. It has a Vapormatic security system in it, and that'll throw an ECU code if you don't follow the procedure correctly. So that's the only code that I've had. There's no transmission code, so I'm kind of pleased with that one. But as far as I'm concerned, the 8530s, I don't think I have a failure yet. If I do have a failure, I will be the one doing the work on it. I'm pretty sure that I can handle this. I may have to build some rails in there and rail this thing apart and rail it back together when I get the transmission out and back together. It is in this front, it's in this center section, this section right here. So I don't think it's that big a deal, really. It's just big, bulky, hulky thing. John Deere does not seem to be too concerned with it. They're like, yeah, well, you know, if it continues to do that calibration thing, or if it continues to do that lag thing, just we're going to come out, they'll put it on a computer, and they'll force it to a finer tuned calibration. I guess they'll change the parameters of that calibration. I don't know. I said about the metal that's in it, they said that could very well be from manufacturer, which I was a little shocked. Why would John Deere leave that crap in there from manufacturer? But apparently they've seen that before. But I don't know. I'm thinking that we're going to be okay with it. But if not, I've got 2 other tractors that'll run this baler, and you know, if I do the work myself, it's going to suck because it'll be late nights. Or if I pay somebody else to do it, which I don't really feel comfortable doing because, like John Deere wants to change the whole damn thing. They just want to do a swap out, reman, all the updates, all the upgrades, all the repairs done to it, and then it's like $35,000. Now, if I was to do a swap out through Deere, then I would just pull that section out and put a whole new pack in and call it a day, right? And then have them calibrate it when it's done if calibration is needed. So, but anyways, with that being said, we're just okay. As you can see, the interior of this thing is rusty from the winter, and it's nice and clean because I haven't used it yet. But look at that, we got hay. Let's climb up in the 8530. I got my water jug. Ooh, it's hot in here. I really need to clean the interior of this tractor out. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. I got my sandwich here. Sorry about that, I dropped y'all. Okay, so let me get my Vapor-Matic here. Oh, yay. Kick the tires, light the fires. Now, there is a startup procedure to this thing, and for the most part, it's just a waiting game for the bar to boot up, and it tells you that it is booting, and it takes a little bit of time, but not a hell of a lot. The hay is ready to go, believe it or not. Wait for that to go through its thing. Tells you it's a big pack. So you come over here and you hit the arrow, the back arrow, and that tells you that it is manual. So I'm going to push that button, and it gives me the car insignia, which means automatic. So we're in automatic. I have, what the hell do I have here? Somehow that thing is telling me that there's 3 bales on here. There's not 3 bales. I don't have 3 bales, so let's go to there. And we're going to... Why does that thing say I have... Oh, the transmission is calibrating on the 8530. That is something that it will do when you start her up. So, let's say we... go on down here. I don't know what the hell that is. Escape that. Let's just go to... I'd like to X that one. Okay, so now I'm down to 0 on row number 6, and we're going to hit OK, because there's really no... We're going to hit OK, and we're going to hit Escape. And now I am at 0 on row number 6, or line 6. Now that my transmission is now calibrated, sounds okay. I am going to hit that. That's the hydraulic starter. And what that does is gets me moving with a hydraulic motor. And then you go ahead and you hit that, and you'll hear it hit the tractor. And I'll disconnect that one. And where's my air conditioner? We have the air conditioner on auto. Now, since this is the first bale of the year, we're kind of going to go slow into the hay. I've thrown that forward. And we got to do the outside rounds first. I'm going to put it in automatic four-wheel drive because the wet spot over here. Now, what's going to happen is first hay is going in, and it is not going to compress a bale. Okay, there's no bale going to be compressed in there. So what I really have to do, and I think that I have it's set up okay. What I have to do here is I got to watch to see the length of the bale. So, I just hit my damn thing. All right, so my bale length there is 0 to 94. That thing gets up around pretty damn soon here. There, it started to move. I'm going to actually tie off the bale when it hits about halfway. And what that'll do is that'll start the second bale, and then I won't have this 50,000 mile long bale, which I'm going to hit my knotter button right there. It tied its knot. Everything seems to have worked correctly. Yes. And I'm back into making another bale of hay. Now, when the first bale drops off the back, which it will do shortly here, I'm just going to cut that bale up, cut the strings off of it, and then Timothy will spread it out with the stack wagon, and it'll be okay. So I can feel there's some pressure building on the boards, which is where it needs to be, and we should be good. I'm going to say we're good. We're good. It's a good first start. Good go on the first start for the year. And then I get to adjust my pressures on the boards, and then I'll be able to build a bale rather easily. I can hear that there's getting to be some pressure on the tractor. You can hear it in the rear end of it. And yeah, I think we're going to make a decent bale. These are going to be a little damp because they're the first ones of the day on the outside rounds, which was the last. Oh, that doesn't sound good. Did you hear that? Yeah, maybe it was something. Oh. Okay, so something has broke. That's something. I'm not sure if it just kicked out or what, but I'm going to find out here in a second. Let me look. I think maybe I broke a shear bolt. Okay, so it did not break the shear bolt. I'm going to see if it'll actually kick in here. There is an overrunning clutch that it is protected by, and hopefully you'll watch it just kick in. I've only ever once had that happen before. Whoop. Okay, I'm gonna have to go relieve some pressure, so you're gonna have to give me a second. All right, so when this happens, which is only the second time in 3 years, 3 seasons that I've had this happen, because the bale chamber is really rusty, it's creating a little more pressure than it should. So what you do is you actually relieve the pressure off the boards, and what that will do is what that'll do is allow the plunger to push this out pretty easily. So now that I've got the pressure off of there, and now that it's kicked all my header drive group back into gear, I will be able to, well, I got to do a couple of things. I got to adjust the wind guard, which is pretty simple. I just got to pick up on that chain and get that thing lifted up, because what I think happened was it built on the corner and then sent a slug in. So that's got to get adjusted. But let me clear this first before I go that route. So you can just watch how I do that. Hopefully this thing clears out without any problems. I didn't think there was a flywheel shear bolt on this one. just smoking. There it goes. Okay. So you saw that I got it cleared out. Yay. Yay. Now I'm gonna go adjust the wind guard, and I can't have this camera in my hands while I'm doing that, so you don't get to look so pretty. What don't I ever do?
Take this home.
What is that?
Thermos.
My thermos. So anyways, so what did we just do?
Bale.
We just baled hay. Yeah, I got this little freaking thing. It does it from time to time. 229 bales. We did not finish because the hay got too tough to do it, to bale. So it is early in the season anyway, and I'm still probably 2,000 bales behind what I need to be doing right now, but what are you gonna do? And if it's too tough to bale, I'm just gonna damage my baler, and I don't want to damage my baler. So what has happened is it decided that it would wrap. I don't know if that's, no, it's not wrapped now. It wrapped up on the damned accelerator gizmo here. This top auger had wrapped up, but it's not wrapped now, so I'm pretty happy with that. But it's wet and it wraps, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, you don't want to be on film, do you?
No, kiss me goodbye.
Okay. So I guess that's it for now. I'll kiss you goodbye in a minute. Give me a second here. The hay, it does actually smell pretty good.
I told you.
A little damp. You told me?
I told you.
I told you. I told you.
You know,
But
listen to
when
me.
it gets like this, damp at night, and then it doesn't fill correctly, and you're fighting it, so I just said to hell with it. The hell with it. So tomorrow's another day, correct? Tomorrow's another day, correct? Okay, I kiss your butt. Okay, love you. See you in a little bit.